Okay, hello year 3 and welcome to today's English lesson. Today is the 3rd of February 2021 and our learning objective is to identify similes. Okay, so we have covered this before in class, so this might be just a little bit of a review, but it's really important that we know what similes are because I would like you to use them in your writing next week when we talk about our recounts. All right, so before we do that, let's do our starter, and our focus is to revise and edit. So we are going to go over these sentences and we're going to edit them and check them and make sure that they have got all the correct spellings, all the correct punctuation. Okay, so number 1, where did you find the school's website? Number 1, where did you find the school's website? Okay, quite a few mistakes in there. Can you please make sure that you correct them by writing them down? Okay. Number 2, the lions ate chicken, lamb, and venison for supper. If you're not sure what venison is, it is a type of deer meat, okay? So think carefully, what is missing? It's a type of punctuation that's missing from the sentence. It's a punctuation that I talked about yesterday, earlier on in this week. Okay, the lions ate chicken, lamb, and venison for supper. Finally, number 3, after dinner, we went to the ice cream store. Number 3, after dinner, we went to the ice cream store. Okay, once you have done those 3 sentences, revising and editing them, we are going to mark them. All right, so I'm going to get my pen out. I'm going to make sure it's on pen. All right, so number 1, where did you find the school's website? Right away, I can see that the spelling of you is incorrect. It should be spelled Y-O-U. Now, hopefully you did pick up on this because it's something that I brought up last week. This is not the spelling of where. This is the spelling of were, okay? So this would be were, but the question actually says where. So it should be W-H-E-R-E, okay? Slight difference. Where has a H, were does not. Where did you find the school's website? Now it is the school's website, so that needs an apostrophe. Okay, the website belongs to the school. It is the school's website, so it needs an apostrophe. And I did say it's a question. I'm asking you, where did you find it? So it's not a full stop at the end. It's got to be a question mark. Okay, number 2. The lions ate chicken, lamb, and venison for supper. It's a statement, so they're missing a full stop. I'm going to add that in. I also said that it's a punctuation we focused on yesterday. They ate quite a few things. They ate 3 things for supper. You need a comma to make a list of the 3 things. Chicken, comma, lamb, and venison. You do not need a comma over here. Okay, that's and. Finally, something that I always talk about, right at the beginning of that sentence, it's missing that capital letter. So it is after dinner, capital A-F-T-E-R. After dinner, we went to the ice cream store. Now in this case, does not need that H over there. It's just W-E-N-T. To the ice cream store. It's got a full stop, but it is missing another punctuation. Hopefully you caught that. We talked about it yesterday. When did you go? You went after dinner. It tells you when you went. It's a fronted adverbial. You need that comma there. Okay, so hopefully you got all of that. Let me just double check. Yep, that looks good. Sentence number 2 and sentence number 3. Yep, all right. Okay, let's move on to today's learning objective, which is to identify similes. So in order to be successful today, you need to be able to know what adjectives are. Now, Ms. Davis and I have been talking about this for about 3 weeks, so hopefully we all know what adjectives are. Then we're going to talk about what similes are, and finally, we're going to create some similes. And once you've done that, you're now able to identify similes. Okay, so let's start. Adjectives. Adjectives describe nouns. I talked about this last week in our feature hunt. Miss Davis talked about it as well when we were doing newspaper articles, and we're going to focus again just so that you don't forget what they are. Adjectives describe nouns, and nouns are places such as the forest, or they're things such as trees, such as ovens or stoves, or they can be animals, okay? They can also be people or ideas, all right? Can you think of any adjectives that describe these pictures? You don't have to write them down, just have a think, say it out loud. What kind of adjectives can you think of to describe these pictures, okay? Don't say something like big, because we're trying to use more adventurous vocabulary. Think about all the words we've talked about in our reading, in our vocab lessons, in our spelling lessons. We teach you lots of new words, so please make sure you're trying to use one of those words to describe these, okay? So just have a think. What adjectives can you think about? I would say something like the tree is twisted, it's ancient, it's massive, okay? The stove is scalding hot, okay? It is scorching, it is fiery, all right? The dog, playful, cheerful perhaps. Because dogs are usually cheery, they're full of cheer. Loyal, dogs are very loyal pets, okay? All of those are adjectives that you could have used to describe it. Now, similes. A simile is a way of describing something by comparing it to something else using like or as, okay? Now that is a lot of words over there. Let me just give you an example. Her eyes are like stars, okay? Her eyes are like stars and her lips are like roses. Now I've not used an adjective over there. I have just said what they're like. I'm comparing her eyes to stars, okay? And I'm comparing her lips to roses, all right? Her eyes are like stars, her lips are like roses. I'm still describing her, but I've not used an adjective. I've used a simile, okay? I've described her by comparing her to stars and roses. Over here, I have used an adjective. The car was as fast as a cheetah, okay? Let me just get my highlighter out. Sorry, let me just get my highlighter out. Highlight that keyword as, okay? Highlight those keywords over there. Once you use these words, you've created a simile. The car was as fast as a cheetah. Right, now, why do we use them? Why am I teaching you this? Why do we need to use similes and adjectives? Well, when you're describing something, you're trying to create a picture in the reader's mind, and similes can help you to do this. So when this boy is writing and describing this area, he really wants me to imagine what it looks like. So if I close my eyes and he describes it to me, I can see that picture in my head. And it's not enough to say that the forest was dark. What was it dark like? What were the trees like? What were the rocks like? Okay, yep, they're gray rocks, but gray like what? Dark like what? Okay, as scary as what? Okay, by comparing it to something that I already know, I can picture it in my head. Okay, if you were to tell me it was as scary as a ghost's whisper, then I'm imagining what a ghost whispering is like, and I think, oh, that's pretty scary. Okay, so that's why you need to use similes in your writing. So let's see the difference, okay? The dog was big and fierce. Sure, okay, great sentence. It's got two adjectives in there. It's big and it's fierce. But now, if I were to add some more adjectives and similes to it, the black scruffy dog was as big as a wolf and fierce like a very angry bear. Now I'm thinking in my head, oh my gosh, it's massive. It's as big as a wolf and it is fierce like an angry bear. So I'm thinking to myself, oh man, it is really, really angry. It's not enough to say it was big and fierce. I'm thinking, okay, it's big and fierce, but as big as a wolf, as fierce as an angry bear, okay? That is really, in my head, then painting a picture, okay? I know that wolves are really big. Wolves are bigger than dogs. So I now know this dog is as big as a wolf. Oh, I know bears can be quite protective and quite angry. So telling me the dog was fierce like an angry bear really paints that image in my head. Okay, let's do the other sentence. The house was beautiful. Great sentence, okay? Got an adjective in there. However, if you tell me the ancient house was beautiful, like an old-fashioned painting, I'm now thinking in my head of an old-fashioned painting. I'm thinking to myself, ooh, that is really pretty, okay? And also, it's ancient. It's an old house, all right? And even here, you're telling me the dog was black and scruffy. Can you see how adding those similes really paints that image in your reader's mind, okay? It's not enough to use the adjectives. Using the adjectives and similes helps me think about other things that are similar and helps me picture it the same way. Okay, oh, sorry, move that back up there. Okay, so can you now have a go and finish these similes? All right. The doll's face was as smooth as what? Okay. Let me make it full screen, actually. It might be a bit bigger for you. There you go. Okay. So the doll's face was as smooth as what? What's something that's really smooth? What if I felt it would be really smooth and I could compare it to the doll's face? Number 2, Greece was hot like. What was Greece hot like? Number 3, the book was as exciting as. What is something that you find really exciting? Use that to complete the sentence. Either write it down or just think to yourself, okay? It would be best if you write it down because then at least you have some practice writing these similes out, all right? I don't want you to forget about practicing your handwriting as well. Okay, the night was as black as, ooh, what is something really black? I know you guys have got lots of great ideas. I know your imagination is amazing. So what is something that's really black? And don't say the night sky because that won't help me because it's saying the night was as black as. If you tell me the night sky, I can't really imagine it. What's something else that's really black? Maybe something that's burned into a crisp. Okay. The fireworks were colorful like. The fireworks were colorful like. Okay, so take a minute to finish all those similes off, write them down, and then maybe we'll go over some together. So I am thinking about Greece. Greece needs a capital G. Greece was hot like the depths of a fiery volcano, okay? If I'm thinking about going into the middle, deep into a hot volcano, that is what Greece is as hot as. Greece was hot like the depths of a fiery volcano, okay? That would be one way that you could have finished off that sentence. Greece was hot like the depths of a fiery volcano. Number 2, something that's really exciting to me would be going on a new adventure, going and trying something exciting. The book was as exciting as riding on a roller coaster for the, whoops, can't see that anymore, for the first time. That is something that's really exciting to me. So that book was as exciting as riding on a roller coaster for the very first time. So now I'm imagining in my head, what was it like the very first time I went on a roller coaster? It was really exciting for me. And that's how exciting this book was. Okay? So that is just an idea. Now, it does not have to be just one word. Okay? It could be a whole phrase, as I've done. Okay? Greece was hot like the sun. Sure. Greece was hot like a volcano. Sure. But adding in a whole phrase, hot like the depths of a fiery volcano, really paints that image in my head. Okay, let me think of one for the night was as black as, what's something that's really black? The night was as black as the, I would think, as a piece of hardened coal. Okay, you know what coal is? Like those little lumps that you put into the barbecue and you burn them to make a fire. That's what I would think is really black. The night was as black as a piece of hardened coal. Okay, so hopefully that's got you thinking, that's got your imagination going, that's got some ideas going for you. Okay, you can always use those ideas. You can use the ideas from here to complete your activity. You're going to use the ideas from here to complete your activity. Remember, similes are just comparing two things using like or as, just to paint an image in your reader's mind. All right? So here's your activity for today. Complete the sentence by choosing the correct simile. Or as a challenge, instead of choosing one of my words, can you complete it using a word or phrase of your own? Okay? Now, this can be done on Teams. So you can go ahead, click on the assignments and type in your answer there. Or as always, you can write down the answer on a piece of paper if you are not able to do it on Teams. You have 8 sentences to complete, okay? So number 1, the boy ran as quick as a slug/fox. Well, what's the right answer? Okay. The boy ran as quick as a, well, slugs do not move very quick, so I'm going to have to say it was a fox. The boy ran as quick as a fox. And for my challenge, the boy ran as quick as a cheetah chasing its prey. Okay, I've completed it using a phrase of my own. Okay, so instead of just saying the boy ran as quick as a fox, the boy ran as quick as a cheetah chasing its prey. All right, so that would be how you complete your challenge activity. Okay, number 2, the coins shone as brightly as the sun/watch, which is the correct word. Number 3, Jessie swam as smoothly as a sheep/fish, which is the correct word. And as your challenge, write that sentence again, but add your own word or your own phrase. Number 3, the giant laughed as loud as whispers/thunder. Sorry, I don't know if I said that was number 3, but that was number 4. Number 5, the bells tinkled like giants/fairies laughing. Now, which one sounds like bells tinkling? Giants laughing or fairies laughing? Number 6, the man was as tall as a cat/house. What was he as tall as? Number 7, the baby was as quiet as a mouse/dog. And number 8, the boy on the skateboard whizzed by like a rocket/snail. Which one is the correct word? Okay. And once you have done that, remember, you can always do the challenge. And as always, you can either complete the work on Teams or do it on a piece of paper. All right. Okay. Well done, year 3. You now know how to identify similes because you have been able, you know what adjectives are, you know what similes are, and now you've been able to create your own similes. Okay. So well done on today's lesson, and tomorrow we'll continue it by applying it to our model text. All right, well done, year 3.